Welcome to the best small business podcast. We deliver powerful insights, breakthrough ideas, and simple solutions to make your business unbelievably successful. I'm Rich G.
And I'm BJ Flagg, and this is episode 173, Top 10 Reasons Not to Fear Losing Your Customer. That's right, guys, we're back in business.
Have you ever lost a customer, BJ?
Yes.
I have too.
I have.
Yeah, it's not fun, but it happens.
It happens. And, in a lot of respects, I think especially like during a pandemic or things like that, recession, you're worried about losing customers.
Yeah. And you get intimidated. You're afraid to lose your client. And so your behavior changes. And it almost is a fait accompli that you're going to lose the client when you start acting that way.
Right. Because your energy is in the wrong spot. And when we started it, we said top 10 reasons, top 10.
Yes.
And when we started, we just realized, oh, yeah, there's 10 things. There are 10 things.
Yeah, normally we do 4 tips. Today we're going to do 10 reasons.
Exactly.
So we're going to fly through each one. So BJ, why don't you kick us off?
Great. The first one is onboarding is the most critical time. A lot of people will scuff over this, just, lunge into a project. No. Got to have an ongoing plan, your onboarding plan. Don't you agree?
Yeah, it's really important that you have a structure because this is the first time that you're ever working with them. And if you kind of let them guide you, you've already lost. So you need to onboard them in a structured way so they feel safe because they're nervous. This is the first time they're working with you.
Yeah. And they're kinetic. Like when you meet them, they have this kinetic thing. And, that kind of brings us into reason number 2.
Yeah. Reason 2 is your first role after you onboard them is to move them mentally from a kinetic static reactive mode to a more proactive mode, because that's what they've been doing, especially in 2020. They've been very reactive. We all have. But now it's 2021. We kind of understand the lay of the land. You now have to start getting them to think proactively about their business.
Yeah. And reason number 3, you got to keep them in that proactive mindset. That's on you. That's how you are able to get them to think visionary. If they're stuck in the today, you've got yourself in a bigger issue. You've got to get them thinking ahead.
Yeah. And get them to think about things that they've not thought about. Like they're like, wow, I've never thought about that before. Yeah. You got to start thinking about these things.
Definitely.
So, reason 4 is then develop a path for them to follow. You get them in a proactive mindset, but then you show them, we're here and I want to get you to this place in the next 6 to 12 months. And here's the path that we're going to take. So they're never lost.
And, every meeting we do, Rich, we create an agenda. And that agenda explains where we were, what we did, and what we're going to do. And all those visionary things that you're talking about are on that agenda. So we make sure that they have that focus. It's the best thing you can do.
Absolutely. When I work with a client, every session, they fill out an intake sheet and send it to me prior to the session where they answer 6 questions. And I understand where their head's at, what they've accomplished. So then I come to the meeting with to keep them on the path. If they're off the path, keep them on the path. So what's our 5th reason?
Listen for warning signs. And that I always am so impressed, Rich, with that sheet that you give everybody, because that shows some of those little kinks in the armor, the little warning signs that you may be off track. Yeah. And then it's on you. You've got to be able to bring them back into the proactive state for them to be able to kind of move forward quickly. That's really what they hire you for.
It's interesting because I just spoke with a client this morning at 6 a.m. about, she said, I'm really stressed out. I don't know if I have enough time, because she really wants to get out of her organization and move somewhere else. And she said, I don't know how I'm going to do this. And I told her the analogy of, you're on the Titanic. You need to get on into a lifeboat, and you're focusing on playing in the band, and it's like, get on the lifeboat. And she's like, oh, I get it. So those were warning signs. Like, I'm stressed. When I hear things like that, I immediately get them refocused on where they really on the path, get them on that path again. So.
And give us reason number 6.
Reason 6 is, as a service provider, you need to build up your confidence level every day to meet positively with them. You need to be that beacon of light, because if you've got them in the middle of the woods and you're nervous that you don't know where you're going or you're in a bad mood, they're going to pick up on that pretty quickly.
And, in this day of Zooming every single thing, you have to be on.
Yes.
You really have to be on. You've got to look great. You got to feel good. Well, you got to look great from the top to the middle.
Yes.
You have to look impressive. And if you do, they'll just build right off that energy, which is exciting. And it's going to get them to where they need to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So here's
what's reason 7?
Yeah. 7 is address issues as soon as they arise. I'm talking about you feel an issue, set up exactly what's happening, talk about the issue, talk about all the different components of it, and begin talking about the solution. Because as soon as you talk about the solution, it puts so much less pressure on the issue, and you've moved them. But you also have given them some homework.
Yep.
That's what you need to do. You need them. The issue isn't all with you. They need to own part of the issue.
And that leads us right into reason 8. You need to hold your customers accountable for getting things done. Okay. And that's where there's the trip up. If they're goofing off, they need to put on their big boy or big girl pants. Yes. And you need to tell them you're accountable for your success. BJ, you are just a helper on this. It's up to them to be successful. It's up to me to get them. They need to take charge of their own business or career.
And I laugh sometimes because I'll say, hey, listen, I'm running 2 businesses right now. I need you to run your business.
Yes.
And I say it jokingly. I say it with a little fun, but it is true. You got to get going here.
Well, a lot of clients are expecting you to hold their hand the entire way. It's like, I'm going to give you a map, but you've got to read the map. I'm not going to hold your hand the entire way.
Exactly. Now, reason number 9 is encourage them, their successes. And as they start getting into that rhythm, just encourage them more. Yeah. Because once they start getting into that rhythm, you've got yourself a win.
Yeah.
And they are happy.
And that's where you pick up speed. You start seeing, and they start seeing their successes upon successes build. And they're like, oh my God, now I see the magic of working with BJ, or I see the magic of working with Rich. They get it. They get into that rhythm.
Yeah. And that's really your job, to just not drop the ball at that point. Just keep it moving, keep feeding on it, and it really will push you forward fast.
It's so important. And let's go to reason number 10. And this is where I get this is the Rich G attitude, which is, if you're going to lose a client, you're going to lose them. That's the thing. I was told this many years ago. If you're going to lose a client, don't worry about losing the client. You're going to lose them. So just, make the transition as comfortable as possible. And don't worry about it, because if you worry the entire time that you're going to lose the client, guess what? You're probably going to lose them. So
yeah, and don't worry about it. Have all their files ready to go. Have everything that they might need in the future. Remind them to always reach back if you need something. Don't ever put it on you that quote they're walking out the door. And shockingly, that good relationship will maintain.
Absolutely.
And you'll be glad you do it. We don't have a resource today.
No.
Because we felt we wanted you to kind of concentrate on these top 10 reasons. It's something that we feel going into 2021, we want everyone feeling the magic of having great customers and be able to have that confidence to kind of keep moving on with them.
Yeah. And the biggest thing is we've given you 10 reasons to help you keep your clients. This is going to be a crazy year, just as crazy as 2020. But I think you could be a little bit more proactive about what you do. So just go out there and do your best, be positive, and you'll keep your clients, because they're looking for a lifeboat too, and you're their lifeboat. So,
absolutely. That's for sure.
And well, that's it. We'll both do it. And that's it for today.
Thank you to our producer and editor, Richard Scalzo, the man who makes everything happen. Speak to you all year and have an unbelievable week.
Yep. Catch you later.